Today, I'm at the Southeast Game Exchange in Greenville, South Carolina, and I want to find out what is the absolute worst part about selling at retro game conventions. I'm hoping that some of these vendors will give me some juicy answers and be completely honest and real with me. And if they're not going to, well, I'll do it myself. I'm gonna let you guys know the worst things. But before we get to that, let's start on something a little bit more positive. Let's go with the best things about selling at retro game conventions. All right, so I'm here with Zach at the Southeast Game Exchange, and we want to know what's the best and the worst thing about selling at a convention.
Best part, meeting new people, getting to know guys. This is a good time. I like meeting new people.
So what's the best thing about selling at a game convention?
It's going to be the people you meet, the networking. You got a lot of friends and family, and it's like a reunion every year. It's awesome.
So what's the best thing about selling at a retro video game convention?
All of the connections that I've met through all of the events, they just build up and the followers continue to come back. I think that's the community.
That's what I'm hearing from everyone. The best part is meeting people in the community. That's awesome. What's the best thing about selling at a retro game convention?
I think it's like nice to meet a lot of cool people that have similar interests, you know what I mean?
So what is the best thing about selling at a retro video game convention?
To be kind of corny, like the community that brings all together kind of thing, but also just seeing what people are trying to buy this year. This is my fourth time doing Siege, and so just seeing the differences in what people are actively looking for and then trying to bolster that up throughout the year and bring it back. But
Very cool.
I like that part.
So I have Heather here from Pixel Parts. Yes. And so what is the best thing about selling at a retro convention?
Meeting so many new people. Literally meeting all the new people like me, and new customers as well.
So in your opinion, what's the best thing about selling at a retro video game convention?
Sure. So, I mean, there's a few things. Just meeting people. You get to meet people everywhere. I travel a lot, do a lot of conventions. So, people that really enjoy the space like you do, just like-minded people. I think that's probably the most rewarding part of it.
So what is the best thing about selling at the retro conventions?
The best thing to sell about the retro conventions would be seeing everybody, learning to meet these new people that have this similar interest in the hobby, and getting to meet all these your favorite people, that's the YouTubers, the TikTokers, and the Instagram people that all share this love for something, and it connects the community so well.
So what's the best thing about selling at the retro conventions?
So the best thing is meeting all the people, advertising, giving out, showing people that we're here and that, we're a store. So we're a physical store. We also have an online presence, and just meeting all the people here and having the conversations with people is fun.
So what is the best thing about selling at retro game conventions?
Meeting with collectors. So, like, as a collector myself, I love interacting and seeing everybody else, what they collect and what they're after at that time.
So I will say that every single vendor gave me the same answer. Kind of expected it. It usually is considered the best part about going to conventions, and that's not just about video games, but I'm sure any conventions, the best part is always about meeting up with like-minded people, meeting new people, meeting people that you have watched on YouTube or that you're a fan of, and whatever the thing is, and that is always a lot of fun. But what is the worst part? Let's see what the other vendors have to say.
The worst thing is I see too many things I want to buy. I spend too much money here, man.
Kind of a bittersweet thing.
A little bit bittersweet, yeah.
What's the worst part?
When you are at a rush event like Siege is, you don't get to spend as much time with people and make those connections that you want to make. So most times we have QR codes available for people to reach out to us so that we can still make those connections. It's just later instead of now.
Awesome. And if you guys want to follow them, here's the QR code. What's the worst part about it?
Smell.
And then what's the worst part?
I don't have a whole lot this year of things, and so just trying to make things work, fill out a booth kind of thing.
And what's the worst thing?
I would say the worst thing is running out of product when people still want to buy, and I feel so bad that I can't carry everything with me and be able to accommodate all this stuff.
And what's the worst part?
The worst part would probably be the wait times to see everything, and some of the people who are coming here to look. There's a lot more good than the bad. It always is a great time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It sucks hauling it all. It's not as easy as you think. We have a 20 by 20 right here, and it usually takes several hours between just setting it up. So
I'm familiar with that.
yeah, it's not the greatest, but it's worth it.
Probably my least favorite part as well.
Yeah.
The worst thing.
The worst thing is probably how busy it gets right at first. So when they open the doors, you kind of get swarmed that first hour or two. That's why I brought 4 people with me this time, you know, just because you got a lot of people talking to you at once.
What's the worst thing about selling at these conventions?
Dealing with certain collectors, where it's very hard to deal with them, particularly like trying to get to the right price or try to just work with certain individuals.
I get that. You're the first person to admit it. I think most of the vendors would probably say that's one of the worst things, but everyone else is trying to spin it into a positive kind of thing.
Well,
So I'm
why
glad you're being honest about it.
Yeah, I led with it. Certain ones, I mean, like most collectors I get along with great, and then there are a few that are more difficult to deal with.
And overall, the conventions are always super positive, but there can be some drawbacks here and there.
There can be, exactly, yep. So every community, it's better to be wholesome to the community rather than like fighting it, and it's something to
Right.
fight it. So.
So these vendors are eating lunch right now, which is a luxury that you don't always have. So for me, that is definitely one of the bad things about selling at these conventions, is that you sometimes don't get time for food or a bathroom break or anything like that.
The worst thing, like you see, it can get a little crazy, a little chaos. There's not many bad things about this convention.
Some of these vendors are just too nice. They don't want to give real answers. They're almost turning it into a job interview question where they're trying to kind of make it a positive, even though they're talking about the worst thing. So let me tell you some of the things that I think are the worst things about selling at retro game conventions, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I've been a vendor at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo for many, many years. We have one of the largest booths at the convention, so we've dealt with a lot of people. One of the worst things are people trying to lowball you, and for no reason. People think that just because you're at a convention, they can get a discount. Or they're buying 2 games instead of 1, so they should get half off, right? No, absolutely not. We have a rule with the Double Jump Video Games booth at PRGE, and that rule is that we do not do any discounts on day 1. The convention, well, this year it's going to be 3 days, I think, but usually it's Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, we do no discounts. It's full sticker price for everything. Doesn't matter if you're buying 30 games. Sunday is the day where we will consider offers, we'll make bundle deals and stuff like that. And I will tell you, 99.9% of people who try to make an offer or try to get a bundle price on Saturday will end up buying the stuff anyway, because they know that our prices are good and the stuff is not going to be there on Sunday. Another thing that I do not like about selling at the game conventions is the smell. Oh my God, this is not just for video game conventions. I imagine this goes for any type of convention. And I will also say 95% of people take a shower, they wear deodorant, they wear cologne, perfume, whatever, and everyone either has no smell at all or smells good. But that 5% of people that very clearly have not showered for a week, they do not wear deodorant, and they come into this place where they're walking around all day, shoulder to shoulder with people. It's very tight in there, it's cramped, it's sweaty, and some of the smells are god awful. Oh my God, just wear deodorant. Another thing that sucks about it, and this shouldn't be something that we have to deal with as vendors, but we do, and it's theft. This is a very big issue, especially with the larger conventions. When there's more people around, it's easier for someone to slip something into their pocket or just grab something and kind of walk away without going to pay for it, right? This is unfortunately very common at the large video game conventions, and it has happened to us. And there's different forms of theft or stealing that people can do at these conventions. And one of the things that has been really bad in the past that we know how to counteract now is people buying stuff with stolen credit cards. This has happened quite a lot. We got hit for over $1,000 in stolen credit cards at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo a couple years ago, and now we match ID to the card. Even if you're spending $2, we don't care. Theft is horrible. If you are shoplifting from retro game vendors or stores, stop doing it. It's terrible, and you're a piece of trash. I will say that I don't disagree with any of the vendors in this video talking about the best or worst things. I think that none of them wanted to kind of give me their honest answer, because obviously nobody wants to be a jerk, and I hope that I'm not coming off that way either. I just want to make sure that this video is entertaining for you guys, and I want to be honest about a couple things that I really don't like about conventions, even though overall they are amazing and I love them so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.